You're driving on the motorway. Traffic slows to a crawl. You brace for an accident, roadworks, something. You finally reach the front of the jam, and there's nothing there. No crash, no cones, no reason at all. Just cars, speeding up again like nothing happened. Congratulations, you just experienced a phantom traffic jam. And the genuinely unsettling part is that nobody caused it. Not one single driver did anything wrong. So how does a traffic jam form out of literally nothing? It starts with a tiny, almost invisible action. Someone taps their brakes. Maybe they got distracted for a second. Maybe someone merged slightly too close. It doesn't matter why. What matters is what happens next. The driver behind them has to slow down too, but human reaction time isn't instant. There's a small delay before they hit their own brakes, so they end up braking slightly harder than the car in front of them, just to stay safe. The driver behind that one does the exact same thing. Reacts a beat late, brakes a bit harder to compensate, and the driver behind them does it again and again. Each driver in the chain is overcorrecting slightly more than the person in front of them. It's like a very slow, very frustrating game of telephone, except instead of a whispered message getting distorted, it's braking force getting amplified. Within a few dozen cars, that one tiny tap of the brakes has snowballed into cars coming to a complete stop, far behind the original driver, who has long since sped back up and driven away without ever realizing what they started. This is called a traffic wave, and it's a real, measurable, physically studied phenomenon. Researchers have recreated it experimentally, putting real drivers on a circular test track and asking them to simply maintain a steady following distance. Within minutes, without a single obstacle, without a single mistake, the traffic spontaneously clumps into stop-and-go waves that ripple backward through the loop of cars, over and over, indefinitely. No accident required, no bad driver required, just ordinary human reaction times interacting with each other, at scale. And here's the part that makes it genuinely fascinating instead of just annoying. The wave itself moves backward, against the direction of traffic, even though every single car is moving forward. Picture it like a Mexican wave in a stadium. Each individual person just stands up and sits back down, but the wave itself travels around the entire stadium, independent of any one person, as if it has a life of its own. Traffic jams work the same way. The jam is not a thing made of cars. It's a pattern moving through cars, and the cars are just the medium it happens to be traveling through. This is actually a well-studied area of physics and mathematics called flow dynamics, and it shows up in far more places than just motorways. It's used to model how crowds move through stadium exits, how blood cells flow through narrowing vessels, even how forest fires spread through unevenly spaced trees. The same maths that explains your commute also explains a heart attack and a wildfire. Slightly humbling if you think about it too long. And here's the genuinely useful part. Traffic engineers have used this exact discovery to build systems that actually prevent phantom jams, by controlling entry ramp lights to space cars out before they ever bunch up, or setting variable speed limits that smooth out the very braking chains that start the problem in the first place. So the next time you're stuck in traffic, with absolutely no explanation in sight, know this. Somewhere back down the road, someone tapped their brakes for half a second and never even knew what they started. You are, quite literally, sitting inside the ripple of someone else's tiny, forgotten mistake.